David McKee does like to keep you on your toes if you've ever watched King Rollo. All kinds of bizarre things happen out of nowhere. Good afternoon, and welcome to another of Mr. Bench's book reviews. What's in the box today? Box being a bit mischievous today. There we go. Here we go. It is Elmer and the Big Bird. Logic would suggest that that is the Big Bird, meaning that that must be Elmer. It's by David McKee, who you may know as the creator of the King Rollo series, which is nice. This Elmo doesn't belong to anyone. There are lots of little blue birds. And there's the Big Bird, and now we're going to get into it. Elmer, you may know as the patchwork elephant, features in many Elmer books, none of which I have reviewed on this channel so far. So this is something of a first. Elmer, the patchwork elephant, that's what I said, was watching his cousin Wilbur. Now we have two other elephants in the picture, so I'm not sure if Wilbur is the chessboard elephant or the grey one. Let's see. Wilbur was playing voice tricks for some friends. He was making his voice come from trees a long way off. Some kind of ventriloquist elephant. Strange, thought Elmer. No birds around. They love Wilbur's voice tricks. I wonder where they can be. And indeed, we have a picture with lots of different animals. A reptile, some rodents, a lion, and some primates, but no birds. There you go. But I think Wilbur is this black and white checked elephant, but I'm not 100% certain. I wonder where they can be, the birds. Elmer left the others and went to find the birds. As he walked, he called out, "Yo-ho, birds, where are you?" Suddenly, a bird flew out of a cave and said, "Shh, Elmer, quickly, come inside." And that's exciting. And here we have a picture of Elmer with a little bird on the end of his trunk. That's not this big black bird here, it's a little blue one. And it's kind of beckoning, which is nice. Elmer is very brightly coloured. Patchwork. I think there is an origin story, like there's a book that explains why Elmer is patchwork, or how it came to be, but I can't remember. Maybe we'll review that some other time. The cave was full of birds. Wow, it really is. There must be 1,000 million of them. We're hiding from that huge, nasty bully bird that's on the red rock. Well, that'll be this one. Well, yeah, it does look a bit mean, but these are prejudices, of course. Just because it's big and black doesn't mean it's a bully, but maybe it has been exhibiting bullying behaviour. He frightens us. Well, that could just be because of their prejudice. They may be irrationally frightened, or he may have done frightening things. Have you seen him? No, said Elmer. I'll go and talk to him. That won't do any good, sighed a bird as Elmer left. Well, again, it's hard to know if they've tried talking with this big bird and found it to do no good, or if they just think it won't do any good. There it is, on the rock. Sure enough, there was a big bird on the rock. It's quite nice, you see it, and then you think, sure enough, there's a bird on the rock, and then that's exactly what the text says. So that's good. I don't know if it's as big as an elephant. Can't always tell from these drawings how big things are. Hello, you're new here, said Elmer. Ah, so it's a migrating bird. It's migrated to wherever Elmer lives. You're welcome to stay, but please don't frighten the little birds. Frighten them? They'll do as I say, or I'll do more than frighten them. Oh, well then it is a very aggressive bird, wants to be in charge of its new home. screeched the bird. "I like to frighten, and I'll decide if I stay or not." Well, there you go then. It sounds like these bluebirds were completely justified in their fear and what I called prejudice, but what is actually just judicious behaviour based on what had happened. Here's another picture of the other elephants. There's Wilbur again, and a zebra, who is similarly coloured to Wilbur, and something that is probably supposed to be a hippopotamus. Elmer returned to Wilbur and the others, that's who the others are, and told them about the bully bird. So he's got himself an alliterative nickname now. "If he won't stop being nasty," said Elmer, "I'll need your help, and the help of the really big bird." Oh, so is there a bird that's even bigger than the big bully bird? "The really big bird?" asked Wilbur. "Yes," said Elmer. "Here's the plan." Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I have a kind of inkling about what this plan is going to involve. We shall see. Okay, next. Oh no, I might be right. Oh, there are two possibilities now. Here they are, what I think the two things are. Either this enormous swarm of little bluebirds are going to kind of fly in formation in the shape of a big bird to look like a massive bird and scare off little guy. So there your message would be: little folks work together, and solidarity and cooperation are the keys to success. Or it's going to be something with Wilbur throwing his voice to imitate a very large bird. Or it could even be a combination of the two. Or it might be something completely different. David McKee does like to keep you on your toes if you've ever watched King Rollo. All kinds of bizarre things happen out of nowhere. I mean, there's a wizard who just does, like, just wizards something when you're not expecting it. Anyway, next, Elmer went back to the birds and said, these are the little birds, "You're right, the bully is awful." That's good. "We might need the really big bird." "The really big bird?" asked the little birds in chorus. That's good if they can talk in chorus, if they're going to have to imitate a single bird. "Yes," said Elmer. He explained what he intended to do, and then said, "That bully gets one more chance. If he's still nasty, I'll call the really big bird." This is quite nice, the way they're teasing it, and I've come up with these two theories of what might be going to happen. But it's very much inviting that, the way they don't give the game away early on. Quite nice. The bully bird saw Elmer coming. "Stupid elephant," he muttered. "I'll scare him." He's really not even pretending to be nice, is he? He's very open about his animosity. He dived straight at Elmer. Elmer hummed a little tune and pretended not to notice. Well, he's very brave then. Because it's not easy to pretend to be brave if you actually are terrified, even if it's part of your plan. The bird hurtled down, screamed, and, at the last minute, swooped up again to his rock. I guess that's just a scream trying to scare someone else and not screaming because the bird itself is scared. Elmer acted as if nothing had happened. "Are you all right?" Elmer asked. "You sounded frightened." "Frightened? Me?" scoffed the bully bird. "Fat chance." The narrator has taken on this bully bird moniker and used it. So the narrator seems to be very much on the side of Elmer and the little birds and Wilbur and everyone. "Well," said Elmer, "the birds have a friend much bigger than you. Leave them in peace or I'll call him." "Bigger than me? Impossible!" shrieked the bully bird. That's a bit of an odd thing to say. I mean, you might think you're the bravest or the scariest, like a kind of characteristic you can control, but just saying it's impossible that anyone could be bigger than me seems a bit foolish. There's Wilbur hiding in the bushes here, so I think there's going to be some voice throwing. "Leave them in peace indeed. Call him. Go on, call him." Well, he's very bullish. He's not just a bully, he's bullish. He's bold, foolhardy. Elmer trumpeted loudly. That must be his call. A deep voice came from far away. Shall I do this then? "Where's the horrible bully who frightens little birds?" In the distance, something started to rise. Well, as Will was hiding in the bush here, I expect that was him doing the voice. At that moment, there was the sound of running, and the animals came racing by. Run for it, the animals, this is zebra, primates, rodents, etc. Run for it, Elmer, they called. The really big bird is coming. He can't be that big, stammered the woolly bird. So he's stammering now. Before he was screeching and things, and now he's becoming fearful. And they're all acting very well, these other animals. These monkeys in particular are really looking quite expressive as they feign fear. Oh, here's the really big bird. The rising shape was an enormous bird. Let's see what a really nasty bird can do, came the voice. And it is much larger, as you can see. See, that's really big bird, and big bird looks fairly tiny in comparison. Oh no, I've just remembered, said the bully bird. It's Uncle's birthday. I must go. He left very quickly. Come back, coward, called the voice. But the bully bird had gone. And you see the huge bird came closer, changed shape, and started to break up. It wasn't one bird, it was all the small birds flying closely together. Laughing happily, they began to land. Wilbur came out of hiding as the animals returned. Well done, everybody, said Elmer. I love the voice, Wilbur. And they're all chuckling away and happy. They've scared off that mean intruder. Thank you all, said one of the small birds. Now we can live normally again. From the distance came the voice of the really big bird. That's what I call togetherness. Elmer laughed. Thank you, Wilbur. I couldn't have put it better myself. And they're all having a little dance now. This rabbit is hopping or doing some sort of jig. Has its legs kind of crossed as it dances. And that's the end. Well, I gotta say, that was nice. I did predict basically exactly what was going to happen. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's sometimes nice when you know what's coming. There are other books. There's one I've read about a fish called Swimmy, and the fish, it gets involved with a big school of fish, and they take the form of a large fish. So this has happened before. I'm not saying that one is stealing from the other necessarily. I mean, the fact that birds fly in formations is quite well known. I think they're called murmurations, at least for some kinds of birds. So pretty nice quick read. I mean, very on the nose with the moral. I mean, they even have the little expression, that's what I call togetherness. So saying that's what you're supposed to be looking out for in terms of what you're supposed to learn. But yeah, pretty good. I like the way the blackbird was very obviously mean as well. I mean, it wasn't just like, oh, we don't like him, he's a bit different. It was like, I am a bully, I want to frighten everyone. And then he hurtled himself at people. So you can't blame them for not wanting him around. And I think the fact that he's black is possibly just kind of a metaphor playing on the fact that Elmer is obviously the hero and the morally untouchable character in these stories. So the black is just the absence of colour, if you will. The absence of bright colours, at least, like the opposite of brightness, is then morally repugnant. So they got rid of Bully Bird. Well done him. Narrator also very much on the side of the good guys, which is fine. Why would you side with Bully Bird? Unless you yourself want to terrorise poor little blue creatures. And I don't want to do that, so I'm happy. And I hope you enjoyed that one. Do join me again next time for another of Mr. Bench's book reviews. Bye.